I'm Gary Herman with the Alexander County Economic Development Corporation, and I'm here today with Walter Lee Sharp, who is president of the Alex History Group. They recently published the Alexander County Treasures history book. Tell us more about Alexander County Treasures, Lee.
It is the first history book of this scope and magnitude published about Alexander County. It is a history of remarkable people and precious gems. The aim of the book is to provide a living history based on documented facts and oral histories that give a feeling and a taste of the people and this place we know as Alexander County. We begin with the land. We document the original Americans, the Indians. We also note our pioneers, and then we come across the decades from the Revolutionary War all the way through to the decade of 2012 is when the book is concluded from that standpoint.
It's a very rich history we have here in Alexander County, and we're thankful to Alex History Group for publishing such a remarkable book. I think it is a treasure for our county. So I know it has taken a lot of work to get this book published. Tell me, what's a little bit of the history of the book itself?
The history of the book dates back to 1996, when the county was planning its 150th anniversary celebration, which did occur in 1997. We realized that we did not have a county history book or a comprehensive history book from that standpoint. So the plan was launched to develop a history book along those lines. And now we have a comprehensive 368-page limited edition history book which gives a snapshot of this county and its people. We wanted a really quality book, and we chose the Donning Company of Virginia Beach, Virginia. They are the largest publisher of pictorial history books in the United States, and this book is part of their American Portrait series, so we're delighted to have that quality of book available to the folks here in Alexander County. The book was copyrighted in 2012 by Alex History Group and Alexander County. This is a non-profit project. Basically, the monies received from the sale of the book go to pay for its publishing cost. Any monies that are left over will be used and donated to the Alexander County Library for local history awareness endeavors.
It is a great book. It's a very quality book, and we encourage people to get a copy of Alexander County Treasures. Lee, thank you for your time today.
Certainly.
Marie Chapman is Secretary-Treasurer for Alex History Group, and she's going to talk to us a little bit today about the cover of the book and some of the book's highlights. So Marie, shed some light on that for us.
Yes, I will. The cover of the book typifies the diverse makeup of Alexander County residents who are our treasurers. Mr. Wren Adams represents the golden ages of the county as they contributed to its success. Also, the emerald pictured in the treasure chest on the cover was discovered at Mr. Adams' mine in Hidnight. Unfortunately, Mr. Adams passed away shortly after the picture was taken. On the cover, representing the 1900s, is Joanne and Raymond Curley, dressed in the styles of that era. The young man, Josh Bolick, represents our high school and college students, and the little girl, Taylor Sharp, represents our youngsters. Last but not least, the beautiful collie on the cover is named Chase, and he belongs to me. Now to the book. Included is information about various landmarks, such as Rocky Face Mountain and Barrett's Mountain, which is named for Jonathan Barrett. The various wars are covered, including the American Revolution, the Civil War, World War I, and World War II. There are copies of letters written by soldiers from Alexander County. Some are sad and some are funny. To me, the letters alone are worth the read.
Now, Marie, I understand that you lost a brother in World War I, so the book has a personal value to you. So tell us more about that.
Yes, it does. My oldest brother, Ray Oren, served in the World War II, and I'm proud to have his name in the history book. He lived here, he grew up here, he worked at Trio Supermarket until he was drafted in 1941. I don't remember much about him because I was so young at that time, but I do remember when he was killed and when we got the word. My parents received a telegram delivered to our home in the Three Forks Church area of the county. Mr. Roe Camel brought the news that Ray had been wounded in France. About 3 days later, Mr. Campbell came back with the word that he had died. After the war ended, his body was brought back to Alexander County and is buried in Little River Church Cemetery between our parents. Other areas of interest include Alexander County Hospital, which operated here from 1950 until its closing in 2001. Local doctors who practiced along that time were Dr. Alex Moffitt, Dr. Asa Thurston, and Dr. Thomas Crouch. In 1961, the Alexander County Chamber of Commerce began recognizing individuals who had made significant contributions to the county through its Citizen of the Year award. Today, 40 worthy citizens have been recognized. Also included in the book is a list of the churches that dot the Alexander County countryside.
Thank you, Marie.
Thank you.
Kent currently is the editing coordinator for Alex History Group. Did significant work on making the book perfect, so to speak. So, Kent, what is the focus of some of the book's chapters?
Well, the book's 19 chapters cover topics that include early Native Americans, first settlers and settlements, cotton mills, the railroad, the Oxford Dam and the impact of Lake Hickory, early forms of entertainment, and even up to the present day agriculture and industry.
So a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
For our folks here in Alexander
Right,
County. So,
right.
I mean, how could you not want to read this book?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just chock full of information, and if you love your county, like I'm sure we all do, this is a book that is a must read. This should be on everyone's coffee table.
I agree.
And not just sitting there gathering dust.
Absolutely.
Right. It should be read. I know my son, he's 10 and he enjoys reading the book, so we do appreciate the work that you guys have put into this. Now, I understand, let's see, it was your dad. He was an eyewitness to the Great Flood of 1916. And how many people were even aware that we had a Great Flood in Alexander County back in those days?
Well, I certainly was, because I heard the story several times. My father was a young boy at the time of the flood of 1916, and he witnessed what he described as a great wall of water that hit the family barn about the roof line, swept away the horses, but more tragically than that, 3 of the neighbor playmates were drowned. And he lived up in the northwestern part of the county, and he didn't have a lot of playmates up there near Lebanon Church.
Yeah, well, a tragic day,
Yeah.
for sure, but one that we need to be aware of and remember. What are some other chapters? What's the focus there?
Well, to add even more human interest to the book, we've included over 70 sidebars. And some of these sidebars, or at least one of them, is a funny and poignant letter to a father from his son who had stolen a horse and run off to Texas. And he was pleading with his father to please send him money so he could come back home. Another one deals with the moonshine industry in the county, which was prominent at a certain time in our history. Another is the Dillsville Tannery that was over in the Antioch Church community. There's even a recipe of the Depression era taters and possum. Also, there's over 500 photos in the book, black and white and in color. Some of these are of the early churches and early schools. One's the architectural drawing of the original courthouse. The first patent issued to an Alexander County citizen. Former slaves, old Confederate soldiers reunion. There's a canceled check from the Bank of Hidnite, which a lot of people wouldn't know there was a bank in Hidnite. A Sears lunchroom. There's a photo of the silver moon and the story around it. And so there's lots to read and lots of pictures to enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, you could go through this and it might take you a week or two, or longer.
Well, you don't have to read it from cover to cover. You can pick out what you're interested in.
It's not necessarily chronological.
Part of it is, but part of it is not.
Yeah, it's a good read, and
Yeah.
we hope that folks will pick up a copy very soon. Makes a great birthday gift, Christmas gift,
Absolutely.
anniversary gift. I mean, or just buy one for yourself. I mean, there's a lot of things in here that you didn't know about your county that you could learn very easily just by purchasing a copy of Alexander County
Right,
Treasures.
right.
So, Kent, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
The North Carolina Society of Historians recently presented the Alex History Group with a prestigious Willie Parker Peace History Book Award for Alexander County Treasures at their 72nd Annual Awards Banquet held in Mooresville. We have Linda Graham, who is the Executive Director for the Catawba Valley Community College Alexander Center for Education with us, and she's going to read some comments from the award. So tell us more about the award, Linda.
It's my pleasure to share with you the words spoken by the North Carolina Society of Historians judges who say, or who said, this group took on the mammoth project to research, record, and perpetuate the history of Alexander County on all levels. And they have done so with the end result being this compelling, prodigiously illustrated book. The quality of the book is superb, as is the layout and design. The generative forces behind this Olympian effort are to be commended. They have paid scrupulous attention to details in the organization and the text of the book, and produced a book that the county can be proud of. Last but not least, this book contains a magnificent accounting of all the full names, locations, events, and buildings within the index. And let me close with 3 words shared by these judges: extremely well done. Thank you, Gary.
I totally agree.
Yes,
Extremely well.
magnificent.
So we thank Alex History Group for a very extremely well done. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, thank you. The book sells for $49.95 plus $3.50 sales tax for a total of $53.45. You can order the book from Alex History Group LLC, P.O. Box 279, Taylorsville, NC 28681, plus $8 for shipping and handling. Or you can save the shipping and handling and purchase your book at the Taylorsville Times, Taylorsville Savings Bank in Taylorsville, Hidnight, and Bethlehem, Custom Frame Crafters, or the Alexander Ancestry Association. Get your copy today of Alexander County Treasures.